I picked Djokovic to beat Sinner in the Shanghai final, and you guys are having a lot of fun with the video that I released yesterday. The comment section is exploding. It's 400 plus comments now, and you guys are giving me some heat, and it's okay. I can take the heat, but some of you guys are saying that I'm always picking Djokovic, that I'm this huge Djokovic fan. And let me take you through the year and talk about some of the big matches that I predicted, and you will see two things. Number one, I was right 100% of the time before yesterday in big matches this year, and I don't always pick Djokovic. So in Indian Wells, I predicted Alcaraz, who was struggling at the time, to beat Sinner. In Miami, for example, I didn't make any predictions because Sinner was such a clear favorite, and this goes for some of those clay court tournaments as well. But at the French, I predicted Alcaraz to take out Sinner. Then at Wimbledon, I predicted Alcaraz to beat Djokovic, and I got a lot of heat for this pick as well. And then at the Olympics, I picked Djokovic to beat Alcaraz, and I got a tremendous amount of heat for this pick as well. My big match predictions were unbelievably strong this year, but I made a mistake yesterday because I saw something in Djokovic in the match against Fritz. What I thought could happen in the match, that Djokovic was going to keep the match close, kind of like he did at the Olympic final against Alcaraz. He was going to take care of his service games, and when it comes to the clutch points, he's going to find a way to win them and take out Sinner. This did not happen for several reasons, and the main reason being that the second greatest returner of all time, I made a video about the top returners of all time. I put Agassi at number one, but you can make an argument that Djokovic is the greatest returner of all time as well, has not broken Sinner in the final in Shanghai, but he also has not broken Sinner in the Australian Open match, which was the previous match that they played, and that was a 4-set match. And I'm gonna again take you back to the Davis Cup match where Djokovic was up love 40 on Sinner's serve and up 5-4 in the third set. He had 3 match points. On the first match point, Djokovic sailed a slice long. Second match point, 15-40, Sinner served out wide and hit a serve that was too strong. But then on 30-40, I think this point is one that Djokovic won't forget for a long time, because in my opinion, it's this match that caused Djokovic to play poorly in a lot of those early tournaments of 2024. So Sinner serves, Djokovic gets the ball back in play. Sinner comes to the net with a mediocre approach shot. Djokovic doesn't even have to run for it, has a look for a backhand passing shot. He doesn't go down the line, he doesn't go cross court, he goes right at Sinner, and Sinner hits an inside out backhand volley winner. And that was the last time Novak Djokovic had break chances against Jannik Sinner. So you can say that Jannik Sinner has improved his serve tremendously, and he has, but sometimes tennis can be mental. Certain things get stuck in your head. And the dynamic of head-to-head matchups is very interesting. When one player shifts the momentum and starts going on a roll, it's very tough to reverse that momentum. And Novak Djokovic just simply can't find a way to break Sinner's serve. Now in the first set, he did have a look at 5-4 love 30. So both players were holding comfortably, and Djokovic had a mini window at love 30, but Sinner played a phenomenal game with 2 service winners, even the score at 30 all. And I often talk about Sinner's down the line shots, which were a huge factor in this match. I'm going to get to that later. But at that 30 all point where Sinner was down 5-4, he hit a forehand cross court ball that is so heavy and so fast. He hit that similar type of shot against Mahac in the semis. Novak Djokovic tried to get that forehand with a squash shot, and the squash shot was way above his head. So Sinner not only hits the ball hard, but he hits the ball extremely heavy, especially on his forehand, but also on his backhand. In the tiebreak, Sinner built up a quick lead, and there was really no chance for Djokovic to win that one. Sinner was just too strong. In the second set, Djokovic was serving down 2-1, and at 15:30, he missed an easy volley. And last year, I was praising Djokovic, how much he had improved his volley. In the Cincinnati final against Alcaraz and the US Open final against Medvedev, Djokovic was volleying unbelievable. But this year, and I don't really know the reason why, it could be related to his knee problems, maybe he's not moving as well as he used to. But Djokovic, for example, in the Wimbledon final, was making some really easy volley mistakes, and also in this match against Sinner, he made some crucial volley mistakes. One in the first game, that one wasn't really that important, but then in a tiebreak down 5-3, he missed a really easy volley into the net. And then again, serving down 1-2, 15-30, he dumped another volley into the net. And also when he was making volleys that just didn't have enough on him, and Sinner is one of the best defensive players that I've ever seen. And his strength, and more specifically, it's his backhand wing, where he slides into the backhand with his left foot, where he can hit cross-court or down the line winners on command. So when somebody comes to the net against Sinner, they better come in with something of a really good quality. And Djokovic simply wasn't doing that in today's match. So Djokovic got broken in that game and did hold serve for the rest of the match, but Sinner held comfortably and won the second set 6-3. So even though Djokovic did have that mini window at 5-4 love 30, I felt like Sinner was clearly the better player in today's final. A lot of comments on Instagram and X are saying Djokovic is an old man and he's done. He can't move anymore. And that is absolute nonsense. How can an old man win Olympic gold and beat Alcaraz just a few months ago? And how can an old man reach the Shanghai final? That's just ridiculous. The people that are writing that need to get a grip. But Djokovic did struggle with defensive shots today. Very similar to the Wimbledon final against Alcaraz. He was hitting some of these balls on the run hard, but he was making a lot of mistakes on the run, and he was being punished by Sinner's down the line shots. And I talked in many of my previous videos that it is my belief that Sinner might be the hardest ball striker that we've ever seen on the tour, and I think Djokovic is feeling that. I think Sinner's shot speed went up towards the end of last year, because the way Sinner played at Davis Cup last year is not the same Sinner that was playing just a week prior at the ATP World Tour Finals. Something happened in that Davis Cup match. Sinner found his game, he found confidence in his shots, and he hasn't lost it since. He's hitting the ball hard, he's hitting it with a lot of margin as well, and when he hits into those corners, there's not much that Novak Djokovic can do right now. So the key to Novak Djokovic beating Sinner is to take care of his service games like he did in that first set. He has to play a similar match like the one he played against Alcaraz. If Novak Djokovic has any issues in his own service games, he's going to get beaten by both Alcaraz and Sinner. If Novak Djokovic can take care of his service games and then rely on those clutch moments, in my opinion, even though you guys are calling him an old man, I still feel like Novak Djokovic has a chance to beat both Sinner and Alcaraz towards the end of this year and in the coming season. We take a look at the race. Novak Djokovic is up to 6th place, so I'm pretty certain that Novak will qualify for the World Tour Finals, and I do believe that he's going to play in the Paris Masters as well. A few days ago, I talked about Mats Wielander's comment about Sinner, and I think Mats woke up this morning with a smile on his face because Jannik Sinner did play like a GOAT in this final. He took care of business, Sampras-like, served out Novak Djokovic in a tiebreak and just one break in the second. And Sinner is having a GOAT-level season. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And since I've been following Sinner this whole year, let me see if I can rattle off all his accomplishments. So he won the Australian Open, won Rotterdam, then he lost to Alcaraz and Indian Wells in the semis, then he won Miami, lost in the quarters of Monte Carlo to Tsitsipas. Then he pulled out of Madrid. He was going to play Aliassime in the quarters, pulled out of Rome. Then semis at the French, lost to Alcaraz, and he won Halle, lost in the quarters of Wimbledon to Medvedev. Then he lost in the quarters of Montreal to Rublev. Then he won Cincinnati, the US Open, Beijing, and Shanghai. That is a GOAT level season, and it's going to be super interesting to see if he can continue this way and get the title in Paris and then win the World Tour Finals. And look guys, it's super sad that Nadal is done, but I'm also glad that Novak Djokovic is still playing at this level, able to make a final and give himself chances to win that first set. He is far from done, and it's going to be super entertaining if Novak is part in the mix, because think about it, we lost Federer, we lost Nadal, but we still have Novak. It's going to be sad when Novak decides to hang it up. It's truly going to be the end of an era. It's super interesting to have an older guy in the mix still challenging these young guys, not only Sinner and Alcaraz, but the rest of the tour. If you take a look at Djokovic's head-to-head against the top 10, it is truly remarkable. The only player that's tied him is Jannik Sinner now at 4-all, but against everybody else in the top 10, Novak Djokovic has a positive head-to-head record. So the year is not over. Let's look forward to the next few tournaments. I'm going to be covering possibly some of the smaller tournaments for sure. I'm going to cover Paris and the ATP World Tour Finals, and I'm also testing rackets. I still have not found a racket that I like. I'm going to have 1 to 2 racket test videos coming out per week for the next month or so, and I'm really trying to find a racket that suits me. The one that I probably like the best so far is the Shift 300, but I'm not 100% satisfied with that one either. So I'm still on the hunt, and I hope to find the right racket for me until the end of the year.